Imagine taking a plain simple dress and transforming it into a beautiful designer outfit in just a few minutes using Adobe Photoshop, as you can see on the screen. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you step by step how to apply fabric textures to clothes realistically using displacement maps, blending modes, and smart objects. And as always, I will drop a powerful design tips inside this video tutorial. Let's get started. Now, this is how it looks after, and this is was how it looked before, and this after. All right, hope it's okay. So as usual, as I told you, before you get started, first you go to my folder. You go to my folder. I'm coming. All right. So before we get started, first you go to folder. I think I have it here. When I go to my folder, this I think, yeah, this was the fabric dress we used. So you right click, and when you right click, you open with. When you open with, then I open with Adobe Photoshop 2023. So I'm using 2023 for this. I have 2025, 2019 CC then. Alright, so I'm using 2023 to open it. So I just click and open it. So this is before how it looked. Now, what you always need to do is what? You always need to zoom in first. Alright? You always need to do what? Zoom in. You can use your hand to zoom in on the touchpad. You understand? You zoom in. All right. Why do we zoom in? Because designers must inspect quality. Always check the sharpness, lightening, texture details, and fabric fold. Now, design tip for the day is zoom in like a professional. Designers don't assume, they inspect. Let me repeat again. Zoom in like a professional. So always make sure you zoom in like a professional, because designers, we don't assume things, we inspect. You understand? All right. So what next? Step 2. This is how it looks. We need to do what? Select the dress. So you can see how it looks. You can see this is mixed and those stuff. And our previous video, I taught you how to select the subject from an image. Yeah, so I can go here, click on selection tool. So when you go here now, so we import the file into Adobe Photoshop 2023. The second step, selecting the dress. Now we need to select the dress. You go to your tools panel, right click on the selection tools, then choose quick selection tool. Now you will see the object of the quick selection tool. And well, let me go here. You can see here we have different selection tool. We have object selection tool, quick selection tool. We have the magic wand selection tool. You can see it over there. So first of this, we have to select what? Quick selection tool, and carefully point it on the dress. So you point it here at the edge. I want to start selecting from here. Sorry, Control Z. I didn't do that because I'm using the microphone in my hand. Then you select it very nicely. You understand? You do that for all the dress. You can see my this selection. It's the armpit here is not part of the design, right? Yeah. So this actually didn't do it. What? All right. So you do Control D. We can use the lasso too, but the important thing is when we are using the Adobe Photoshop 2023, you are using exact image that has a plain background and it's very nice without human being in this image. You can just click on what? The subject. Select subject, then you just click on this. So this, it automatically what? Selects the dress. Let's see what it to do for us. Let's wait, it's loading. Yeah. uh, so if we were to select it, you carefully what, be zooming it one after the other to get it and those stuff. So you can see it actually did what, selected it forward very nicely, but it added this part. It also added the top here to it, and you can see the armpits here. It's also part of it. So it's not bad. At least we are not starting everything from scratch by coming to use this lasso to do everything one after the other. All right, I guess I was zooming too much. So what do you need to do? Control J. You understand? So note, if your selection is bad, your final result will also look bad. So garbage selection, garbage design, that's why I asked you to use there. Now after this, we need to make the selection very professional. So you unlock this. You see this layer was locked, the layer 0, it was actually locked. So you right click on the first layer, you off this layer, you make it invincible, then you can see all the part that was selected and was added to it. So we are just going to do some simple thing. Click your eraser tool here, right click on the eraser tool. Okay, background eraser tool, let's use the background eraser tool. Then you reduce it. You can see at the top here it's 18. You reduce it maybe to 10, then you click here. No, or we can also do it this way. Let's use the magic eraser tool. Okay, so let's put it here, point it here, then right click, it automatically remove that part. I'm showing you the right way and I'm showing you the easiest way to do it. Then we do the same thing to this, right click here, then to take that one to off, then we'll scroll to the down there and this part as well. You do the same thing to this place, it take all off from it. Now you can see we have only the dress that is selected from the image. So those that didn't actually watch the last or the previous video, it's the same thing here. How to what, remove the background. So we remove it, so we select, actually you can see now still it looks very nice and oh wow, it's not bad. I guess I'm zooming too much. Yeah, but for a professional designer, as I told you, the design tip for the day is what do? We zoom in like professional. All right, and designer don't always assume what you inspect. So you inspect all the edges, everything is selected perfectly. Now the third step we have to do here is what, converting the layer to smart object. So you right click here and you scroll, you can see smart, convert to smart object, then you click it, then it converts it to smart objects. Why smart object? Because smart objects allow non-destructive editing. So our previous thing, we did destructive editing, non-destructive editing. And also the tip here is what, smart designers edit smartly, always protect your original image. So even though I've made this in what, this a non-destructive editing, I can also access it later when I want it. So anything I do here, it doesn't affect what the previous editing. I can come and recover it anytime I want it. As I already explained, destructive and non-destructive editing. Now the third one is what, creating a displacement map. So how do I do that? I need to go to filter, go to what, blur. When I go to blur, then I go to Gaussian blur. When I go to Gaussian blur, let's use 4.5. all right, let me see, or we can use 5. Let's just use 4.5. okay, let's use 4.5, then click OK. All right, then you can see it's blur. Don't mind why it's blurred, but you can see still the shadow and everything shows, which is actually perfect. Our selection was like actually okay. Then you go here, you click save as, put it in a folder, save it as in a folder that you can actually recover anytime you want it. So I'm saving it as in my what, downloads folder. So I click here, then I mark it, I do it, save it as what, 1ONE1, then I save. Now yeah, save it as what, 1ONE1. Then the file will help the Photoshop understand the fabric folds. That's what we are doing. We are creating a displacement map. Now what is a displacement map? It's like taking Photoshop. Let me explain. Why are we doing the displacement map? it's like we are telling at Photoshop, hey, follow the shape of the dress, respect it and fold. You understand? So we are letting you understand that you should what? Follow the shape of the dress. What we did, you should follow it exactly. You should not do anything. So if you don't select this displacement map, or you don't do that, your fabric and design is not, the thing is actually not going to make it work well. Now, why? It makes the fabric design bend naturally instead of what, looking flat. Let's see that. So now, what we need to do next is what? We need to go and place an embedded file, the fabric that we are going to use. So I'm going to place embedded. Yeah, so I click when I go to placement, then I choose the fabric. So I think it was in downloads. Yeah, so I'll go scroll down. Yeah, here is it. Here it is. I double click on it, then it adds automatically to this. You can see it's very nice. So you do what? We resize. So I press Ctrl T. When I press Ctrl T, then I click right click, then I click on wrap. Then you need to wrap it like to match the dressing 100%. So I'm wrapping. So if you are mapping, we click any edge, make sure you select the. So I'm wrapping here to match the edge here, and you right, as you are always doing, you left click. Sorry, anytime you are doing, you what, you come to the point, Control Alt. I think I'm using the rule. So you what, you left click at this edge here, sorry, then you bring it to, let me search for the neck here. So you bring it here to the shoulder here, you just wrap it well. I'm just doing it so that, because I want that flowers, the edge of the top flowers there to, even if you don't wrap it, it will still look nice because you are going to do clipping mark stuff. So I want the ending of this to also be wrapped. So any of the edge of the wrapping thing, you click, make sure you left click, you click and hold. All right, no, let me bring it down here. Then here too, I'm doing the same thing. I want to bring it, so here I want it to match it 100%. Even the one I did before I showed you, I didn't do all these wrapping tools, but here we are doing that to make it look very like very modern and nice, you understand? So here I'll go here. Your mapping or your wrapping will look different from mine because you can follow the exact mapping I did, you understand? So wrapping, sorry, I'm saying mapping. So here too, all right, so I'm doing here as well, then I on flowers to here as well. All right, so this is how I wrap it. I want it to look like very nice. All right, so when you are done, you click OK. Yeah, so that's the cloth. You can see how it looks. So it's still very nice. I always tell you, a designer, what you will inspect. All right, so you always zoom and see what everything. Hope the dress that if there's no other part that is left out that has not been wrapped and closed over uh, the the fabric. So it's actually nice. So what we will do next is create clipping marks. So you come to that fabric, the romantic jewelry, and then you right click, then you create clipping marks. You right click clipping marks. Now as we right click, we did clipping mark. You can see how it gets into it like 100%. Now why we do the clipping mask? Without the clipping mask, it will cover the entire image. So when we clip it as a mask, it's what, it doesn't cover all the images. So a clipping mask is like saying stay inside their boundary. So we are just giving it that boundary. You see that even though it's covered all that part, the amplitude is still showing the background. So what we need to do is what? Step 7, applying the displacements. This is where we go back to filter. When we go back to filter, we go to distort, then we go to displace. Sorry, I go to displace. So let's make the horizontal scale 10, the vertical scale 55. Make sure it's on wrap around, not repeat edge pixel. It should be on what, wrap around. Then you click OK. Then when you click OK, to automatically open here, and this was the name we saved it. So you click on it and it will filter the displays. You can see it now. It looks Now what we will do next is what? Blending modes. All right. So why we did that? It allows the fabric to fold the dress very nicely. Now step 8, blending mode, very important. Now we go to blending mode selection. So when you're here, then you go to here the blending mode selection. We have normal, multiply, linear bend, overlay, soft light, difference, hue, color, luminosity, and many more. For the design I tested, I use linear bend and what? Multiply. Yeah, so linear bend. Wow, wow, this is what? Mwah. It is actually wow and wow. You can say it. We can also use multiply. We say it. Multiply. I think multiply will go much more. The linear bend actually looks very dark, but a multiply, you can see it. It still have the quality in it, so I'm using multiply. So you still zoom. You can see what we do. Very nice and very attractive. This is before. This was before, and this is after. Wow, 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 wow. You can see it. So so I chose linear bend. I chose what? Linear bend. Yeah, but I can see here the multiply. So let's look previously. This was how it was. Oh, we also look on this. Sorry, previous. This was how it was. You understand? I also did more of them. You can see here. I work on this one as well. Change the color. This one too as well. This was the previous one I did. But you can see I use what? Linear bend. Yeah, but let's go to its multiply. But I use linear bend. All right, so they are all what you choose and the color, the type of fabric you choose. Just follow this step and it will look nice. Now, quick explanation: blending modes control how your layers interact. Multiply, darkness, multiply, so it's what? Darker results. Linear bend, stronger contrast. Overlay, mix of light and dark. Now, never choose blending mode randomly. Test and compare. So I saw something like saturate. You see here, it changes the color. You see how it looks. You go to color, you go to the, never just what? Choose randomly. Test and compare. You can choose. See here to the color. You see here the black. How you want it, or just go one after the other. But MP, or it be MP. I don't know. So what we actually selected was what? Linear bend. All right. So in the second method, I refine the edges manually. Sometimes quicker selection. Sometimes quick selection leaves rough edges, rough areas, as I told you. Areas. So later, so I zoomed and cleaned all the edges using the eraser tool as we did. Refine selection, but carefully. Erasing is destructive, making it masking it is safer. Now, professional designers prefer masking. So what secrets? Okay, what makes this realistic? Not just what placing fabric. It is what proper selection. You know, it was the selection was proper. The you can see this previous one. The armpit here was actually not the same as this. You see here, there was actually a space here. So I mean the second one we did was actually like okay, you understand? Because still the space was there. Yeah, as I was saying. So proper. So the first one we know proper selection. This one proper selection. Smart object, displacement map, correct blending mode, respect light and shadow. If we skip one of these steps, it will look fake. Now, today's design, the principles, texture mask was respect light. Notice something: the original dress has light and shadow. If the fabric ignores that, it will like look what posted. Design is not about decoration. Design is about what? Integration. So if you are watching this up to this point, comment below from plain to what? Designer. Let me know you are serious about the design. So that's how you turn a plain dress into what? A beautiful design outfit using Photoshop. We use selection to smart objects, Gaussian blur, displacement map, clipping marks, blending modes, and we created something very professional. I will see you in our next tutorial. um Thank you. See you next in our next tutorial. And note, the PowerPoint for these, all the steps and everything is in our PowerPoint slide, and you can find it on our website. So guys, kindly go there and let's see you in our next tutorial. Hello, bye.